Hello, I just spent all day at the cinema, believe me I did, and I finally watched some of the last year's most acclaimed movies, so what about we start with Parasite by Bong Joon-ho. I must admit I was feeling skeptical about this one because the hype was too damn high, and I was afraid Parasite would be another social reality prawn movie. Oh, so insightful, oh the contrasts, oh the bourgeoisie! But I was happily surprised by how unpretentious and funny the film is. I laughed out loud many times at its quirky situations, and I didn't feel bored once. I think all the social commentary is very low-key, which is actually a good thing. Another aspect I really enjoyed is the way it blends genres, passing from black comedy, which somehow reminded me of Dogtooth by Lanthimos, to a very tense thriller and some effed up horror elements. And while quite predictable and not a masterpiece by any means, it is a highly enjoyable movie I recommend to everyone. I give this one an 8 out of 10. I Lost My Body by Jeremy Clapin, one of the Oscar-nominated films for Best Animated Feature. I Lost My Body is a sort of coming-of-age film about an issued delivery guy who gets his hand chopped in an accident and now the hand is looking for its body. At the same time, we look back at the main character's romantic encounter with a girl. Now listen, this type of boy meets girl type of story is not really my cup of tea, but there are ways it can be done right. However, in I Lost My Body, it just comes out as creepy, like this guy literally falls in love and stalks a girl who doesn't realize who he is, and even decides to build a freaking igloo for her. I don't know. To me, it just comes up as juvenile and shallow. Anyway, the severed hand story is more interesting. Yes, what does that even say about the film? And even so, I get the feeling I've seen these kind of adventures before, huh? The best thing about the film is the animation design, but it's a shame it does look a bit lazy sometimes. For a second I thought I was losing my internet connection and the movie got laggy. Overall, not a great film, but it's short and comfortable, so it doesn't do any harm. 6 out of 10. Dolor y Gloria by Pedro Almodóvar. This is a typical Almodóvar film. I mean, look, there's an emotionally unstable character, he's had an unconventional childhood and eventually discovers his sexuality. On top there's all these bright colors that frankly hurt my eyes, some flashbacks to explain some of the events, and an educational PowerPoint montage. For some reason, the film nonetheless is mostly entertaining due to Antonio Banderas' very strong acting, probably the best he's ever given. I couldn't stop thinking about Puss in Boots though. Alright, 7 out of 10. Esto no es Berlín by Harisama. Harisama? Who knows? This Mexican film set in the late 80s follows Carlos as he discovers the Aztec Club, an underground club in Mexico City which introduces him to drugs, sex, and all sorts of excess, as well as rising counterculture, which includes lots of post-punk, performance art, and AIDS. I think the film does a great job at portraying these fevered times in the big city. Well, I don't really know, I wasn't there, but it looks pretty authentic, almost autobiographical. The cinematography is also great and perfectly captures all the nocturnal urban environment, and is especially effective at recreating all the unusual manifestations that take place over the film. However, the acting on all parts is quite stale and not much convincing, and some scenes drag for too long, and the ending doesn't really provide a satisfying conclusion to any character. So 6 out of 10. And I finally watched The Lighthouse by Robert Eggers. To me, The Witch, the previous and first film by Eggers, is rightly one of the best films of the decade. It was dark, scary, and well made on a level most horror movies can only dream of. The Lighthouse seems to follow a similar path, but pay homage to different sources. Mainly, The Lighthouse resembles German expressionist movies of the 20s. Think Nosferatu or The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, as well as Vampire and more modern sources such as Bergman's expressionist era, like The Time of the Wolf and Persona. This is all emphasized in its cold black and white photography, distorted compositions and unusual aspect ratio, which only makes the experience more suffocating. Besides, the montage of some scenes is so schizophrenic and surreal, it's like a horrible nightmare. Kinda looks like Eraserhead to me, and I even noticed some strokes from The Shining. I mean, both movies are pretty much about the same thing. I wouldn't say The Lighthouse is a scary film, but it's deeply disturbing, especially when all the lines between madness and sanity begin to blur. And oh my god, I now honor Mark Corbin as the single best horror movie composer. Like f***ing hell, all the music in the film makes the experience even more unsettling and uncomfortable. And that sound, that damn sound of The Lighthouse, it's haunting as hell. And what to say about the performances? Both Pattinson and Defoe did a great job. The chemistry, if we can call it so, is so chaotic and pure. Sometimes the movie becomes a sort of surreal comedy that I did enjoy like a maniac. Overall, probably the best film of 2019, and I'm glad I waited to watch it on the big screen. I give this one a 9 out of 10. That's all for now. I'll be watching more of this, so I'll see you soon. Bye!